Okay, so we are live, and I trust that you can see us and can hear us and everything. Just someone let me know if everything is as it should be, that you can hear us, you can see us. Get myself in the picture a little bit more right there. And yeah, so who's here? Hi, Laura. Yes, we'll talk about Walter in a minute or so. Hi, Gail. Hi, Donna. Hi, Glenna. Hi, Lydia. Lydia, you're not on your boat? Hi, Fidel. I don't want to be accused of always being late. Yeah, Fidel, I guess we've got you trained. Hi, Barb. Thanks, Laura. Hi, Teresa. So we'll get started here in just a few seconds, just to see a few more people coming in. Hi, Suzanne. Yes, well, you've seen these shirts before because these are Walter's creations and we have worn them before. Probably not in this combo, maybe. I don't know. Hi, Amy. Oh, you are on your boat, are you, Lydia? On Simcoe Island facing Kingston. Oh, okay. Must be nice. Must be really nice. It looks great when you're on there and with your sewing machine and everything. I saw a featherweight yesterday at Ultimate Sewing. Talk more about that in a bit. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl from Kansas City. Hi, Jeannie. So, okay, well, as people are coming in, we'll say hi to them. Hi, Patsy. And we'll get on with this. Well, let's talk about Walter, shall we? He's not a happy camper right now. So don't expect him to smile. Oh, wait, that's normal. Whatever. And everybody's going to think I'm cruel and heartless and the whole bit.
Yeah, but you are.
I am not. I'm just trying to put reality on it. You're a hypochondriac. So you always think the worst. You always think the worst. Walter has a pain. I've said, you want to describe your pain for us?
Well, I did some stuff last week, like clean out some of the eaves troughs and stuff like that. And then midday Friday afternoon, I started feeling pain in my right shoulder, and it got a little worse. And it's been worse for the last 2 nights. So,
To the point where he's been talking heart attack, symptoms of that. He's been on and did the research. Uh, every now and then he says, "Should I go? Should maybe I should go to emergency in the hospital?" And okay, so maybe this is sounding cruel, but what is emergency going to do for him? He's standing up, he's breathing, he's eating, he's drinking. Yes, he's got a severe pain up in here. I think he's pinched a nerve in his back, or he pulled a muscle, a major muscle up here, was he was doing stuff he doesn't usually doesn't do every day. And he says, well, he doesn't know how he pulled the muscle. Well, it's easy to do because I've done it. And it does take, sometimes you don't realize it till the next day. Because I have a problem with my back too, and it flares up every now and then. And I have, if I've been sitting in my, well, I was getting up from my sewing machine until I got the chair that Walter's sitting on right now, my sewing chair, and my back would be killing me for the next day and everything. And I hadn't really done anything that I thought was strenuous. I was just sitting there sewing, but repetitive actions and things like that. Also, so you phone telehealth.
yeah, they weren't any help.
Yeah, well, and emergency is going to treat them the same because right now in our country, emergency services at the hospital, if you don't come in on a gurney and if you don't have a limb missing and blood spurting out of an artery, they go, yeah, you can wait. And when they say wait, we're talking if we went down to emergency right now, we'd be there all night before anybody would look at us at all. And I know that for a fact.
So I'm just going to call my doctor tomorrow and get a hold of her, and she'll probably send me for some tests.
Yeah, now Barb says if you've pinched a nerve, the area will feel like it's on fire. Does it feel like it's on fire?
No, it's my shoulder hurts, and sometimes depending on which way I move my arm, it hurts from the elbow up. So,
And I've said, don't do that then. But I mean, okay, so we go down to emergency. They won't even look at him because, like I said, if there's not a limb missing and blood gushing out of an artery, they figure you can wait.
well, right now I noticed something the other day when I was looking at the urgent care facilities that you go to. They have reduced hours now.
Yeah,
So that's why emergency is overflowing.
because the nursing staff is overworked
Yeah.
because of COVID. And there's another thing. So you sit in the emergency and you wait to see somebody for hours on end. You've got other sick people in emergency.
Well, that's
Coughing
the
up a
part
lung.
that actually I'm kind of more uptight about going to.
Yeah, like let's talk about get COVID. For example, just the other day I got an update on a friend of ours that we told you about that had a brain bleed. Well, he's back in intensive care again. I guess he's had some more problems. It sounded like he was getting a little bit better slowly, and somebody's had a relapse, and they've got him back in intensive care with a ventilator and stuff again. It's not looking good, and his other half tested positive for COVID, and he was going to the hospital every day to check on our friend as well. So where do we think he may have picked up COVID? And the hospitals say, well, you got to wear a mask when you're in there, but
Yeah.
you know, now mind you, he does also work for 4 days out of the week or something in a bakery in a resort town north of us. So you can get it anywhere, right? But that's what I'm saying. And the cases are up of hospitalized cases of COVID again. So, do you want to walk into all of that? So I discouraged him from doing this. Maybe that makes me a horrible individual. I don't know. And I'm not taking this seriously. Yeah, I am taking it seriously. I'm very worried about this, and it's upsetting me. But one thing you need to know about Walter always jumps to the most extreme on anything like this. His mind does this. It goes right to, I'll be dead in the morning kind of a thing. And
No, I'm not short of breath, so
yeah,
what's diaphoretic?
diaphoretic, diaphoretic? I don't know. Short of breath also? When heart's rates aren't usually related to positioning of your right shoulder. Are you diaphoretic? I don't know. What's diaphoretic, Suzanne? Hi, Cherry. Hi, Nita.
Yeah, it could be a torn rotator cuff. It's muscle strain of some sort. Like, I'm pretty sure when I was cleaning out those used troughs that I was overextending myself.
Yeah, because you're up on a ladder and you're reaching way over. Now, what's a rotator cuff? Where is it?
It's up on your shoulder.
What, up in here?
Yeah.
Well, it's a possibility. It doesn't take much.
No sweating.
No, he doesn't have any sweating.
My temperature's okay. I checked my blood pressure. It's okay. And I checked my heart rate. It's okay.
Sweaty, cold, clammy?
No, I don't.
No more than usual.
No, I don't have any of that. I know that. So.
Yeah, so anyways, let's see. Amy says ligament or muscle strain pull is what it sounds like to me. That's what I think too, Amy. I currently have an angry who?
Ilfemoral
ligament. Hip to knee. 10 plus pain if I turn the wrong way.
Yeah, that's sort of like if I move that arm the wrong way, it's like I can scream. So.
Well, Fidel, I have told them, why not try a hot compress? Why not try a cold compress? Why not try a Tylenol? Why not No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I started icing today, and
it's a little late now.
Yeah, I know. Should have done it sooner.
But that's the other thing. He'd rather sit and mope about this and get himself all worked up and worried over this rather than do some, common household kind of
You should be one to talk.
I do things about it.
I've been
Hi, Pamela.
Taking I've been taking ibuprofen and Tylenol, but not at the same time. Like I haven't taken more Tylenol because they seem to be doing something. So
anyways, I mean, you'll call our doctor in the morning and she'll have them in there at some type. But now that's the other thing. What doctors do now, there's no these general practitioners are just that general. They look at you, and if you don't come in with your leg in your hand and say I have a problem, they'll take your blood pressure, they'll listen to your heart, they'll ask you, does it hurt when you breathe? Are you having any chest pains? Does it hurt when you do this? Well, don't do that. And then they'll say, well, I don't know, you might have this, you might have that. And they'll send them off to get x-rays, and they may send them off to get an EKG or whatever they call that thing and whatnot. And because doctors don't do anything anymore, they just look at you and go, yeah, that's it.
Thanks. Alternating hot and cold. I just thought of doing cold. I didn't think of doing hot. So
yeah, well, you can try that too.
Yeah.
Pamela says TENS units work great. Fidel says even an icy patch might help. Yeah. Hi, Chris. So the distance. Yeah, well, he's going to get in tomorrow.
Yeah.
He won't be any problem getting in with our doctor tomorrow, I don't think. Unless she's on holidays. We don't know that.
Yeah.
But who knows? Hi, Wendy. So, yeah, we'll see.
I'll figure it out.
You seem to be sleeping okay.
Yeah, I get into a comfortable position when I'm sleeping, get to sleep, and I can get to sleep. So.
Well, there you go. Stay in bed all day. Well, wait, you do that already. So, yeah, well, people may think
if the doctor suggests I get a massage, then I'll go get a massage. So. Yeah,
well, whatever. Amy says ice 15 minutes on, off, first 48 hours, and moist heat after your doctor will tell you that, and take
ibuprofen.
Yeah, that's it. I have trouble with that word. Well, yeah, I think so, Anita, too, that seeing the doctor is the best way to go, because in emergency, they're not going to do anything for you.
No.
And if anything, it's just going to aggravate the situation, like I already said. Our healthcare system sucks. I know I'm talking to a lot of Americans who are going, you think your healthcare system sucks. Yeah.
Well, right now, with what the Ontario government's been doing to our healthcare system, it's not improved. So
no, and they're actually cutting back hours on emergency departments and actually closing them down for...
Well, they're closing them down because there isn't any staff.
There's no staff. The staff are burned out. The staff are absolutely burned out. And then the other day, they said that there was something like $1.2 billion that supposedly had been set aside to put into the healthcare system by our provincial government. That's still sitting there. They haven't spent a dime of it.
Probably because they canceled elective surgeries during COVID.
Yeah, probably. Whatever. I don't know. It's just something else. So, what's Walter been working on?
Not much right now. I was halfway through putting Friday putting a new hose reel on the outside.
Well, maybe that did it to you too.
Well, that could be too. Actually, after I picked up the hose reel is when just before I picked up the hose reel is when it started.
Is it heavy?
It's heavy, but it's not that heavy.
Well, you're not 20-something.
Yeah, I know.
Anymore. Be like my mother always said, Walter, you just don't want to get old. My mother would say that a lot to me. But she'd use my name, not Walter's. Anita says, our COVID cases and hospitalizations are going up too. Our area was listed as high transmission this week. Yeah. Fidel says, time to Stephen to be extra sweet and nice and caring to Walter.
Yeah, right.
Oh, give me a look. If the roles were reversed here, reversed, I know what he'd do. Yeah. Let's shake it off. Ooh,
no, that's you.
No, that's what you would do to me. You go, I don't know. I don't give in to pain too much. So Walter just immediately jumps to, okay, I'm dead. If I wake up in the morning dead, you'll know.
All my money.
Well, there's advantages, I suppose, for me. So anyways, yeah, Patsy says we all have to slow down a bit. Yeah, well, anyways, we'll see. Tomorrow, I keep saying to him, So is it any different? Is it any better? And the answer you get, oh, this drives me
I'm
nuts.
not sure.
Well, who would be? Who would be? Think about this. You sound
It
like my
feels
mother.
about the same as yesterday. It's hard to say.
What did my mother do all the time? I go in and
I
fear
don't
and she'd throw
know.
it, and she'd thrown up or something. I said, "So, Mom, I hear you threw up. What's the matter?" "I don't know." "Well, Mom, is your stomach upset?" "I don't know." "Well, do you feel?" Okay, then next time I get all these like nondescript. Well, who would know better? I used to say it to her. "Well, Mom, if you don't know, I'm not sure who does." No, like
Yeah, that's what I'm finding out. As you get older, it doesn't take much to do yourself in.
no, it doesn't. Anita says, as a nurse, when is someone in pain when they say they are? As a nurse, when is someone in pain when they say they are? I'm confused, Anita. I'm not sure what you mean. As a nurse, when is someone in pain when they say they are? Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. But only that person knows what the level of the pain is,
Yeah, I know.
right?
Like, I mean, some people can't tolerate any pain, and other people can tolerate some pain.
I mean, yeah, people are in pain, but I don't know how you can help a person if a person doesn't give you details. You
Well,
know,
I don't know what details to give you.
well, I don't know. There must be some descriptor for it. Does it feel like someone put a nail through your body? Have you ever said, "Well, I don't know. I've never had that happen, so I can't compare it." I don't know. It's very frustrating for other people around you, or for anybody around anybody that's sick when you want to help, but there's nothing you can do. So, you know, anyways, Anita says, I tell my husband we've reached the age of old cars and need replacement parts. Yeah, yeah, true. But anyways, hopefully in another few days this will be better. But it means that once again my birthday dinner is now canceled. Yeah, I'm saving it for next year. We were supposed to go out for dinner tomorrow night because we canceled it from the week before when we were supposed to go out.
Well, we
And
could go next week or
actually,
something.
I had made a reservation for this past Thursday night, but I couldn't get out on the patio, and so Walter said, "Well, why don't we change it then? Why don't we go the week after? Why don't we go on Monday?" So yeah, maybe we get one then. So I booked it for Monday. Okay, we'll go at some time. Whatever. I should have said no to my sister on the first one. That's what started the whole rigmarole. But anyways. Hello, Campbell's Creation / Learning to Quilt. So, um, so that's what Walter's been doing, killing himself. What have I been doing? Well, I've been doing a few things. Yeah, well, somebody has to keep busy around here. So let me just switch over so you can see. So I finished my Christmas quilt. And let's go here. And here. And there it is. It's all quilted, all bound, done. Yeah, folded up and sitting in a corner. But anyway, so I did it with a poinsettia design, and I did it in red. So you can see, the picture doesn't show up that well, but you can see the quilting on the front of it. And I'll show you the backing because I had to piece the backing. So there's the backing, and it's got my label. I got my labels from Spoonflower a few weeks ago, so put a label on it. And I just used fabrics I had laying around for this. Actually, I did do one little faux pas here. I actually you see the horizontal fabric. Well, I had that at the top too, but when I wound it through Lucy, I forgot about that. So I should have like centered it a little better. So I don't have any on the top, but it's okay. It's the back of a quilt. What does it matter with it? It doesn't. And let me see here. Get up here. So Ultimate Sewing had a garage sale, which meant they were getting rid of junk. And this is what I bought. I bought these 3 meter rolls of fabric. That's width of fabric and then 3 meters each. And I usually get about 3 meters of fabric when I'm doing a backing or whatever. A couple of them there are the same one, so it gives me 6 meters with the fabric. So a large quilt, I'll have enough backing for it. The other ones are probably for smaller pieces or whatever. But I mean, pretty good price because that works out to $8 a meter. And Shirley's prices for cotton, as you've heard us say before, is usually 15 meters or $15 a meter, which is still good. So I figured might as well while it was there. And then she had these 1/2 meter bundles. There's 5 1/2 meters in each of these bundles. I bought 2 of them, but they were on 25% off that 47 or $45 that you see there, so they were about $27. So I picked those up as well, and they're batiks. Yeah, just for the stash kind of a thing. There wasn't that much there, but she did have a Singer featherweight.
She had 2 of them.
She had 2 of them, yeah. The one that I was looking at that had the case that went with it, that apparently one of the employees said smelled like their grandmother, which I don't know what I
Does it
did.
might mean that she smelled like shit?
Yeah, I don't know, or dead. The other, I'm not sure, but $500. You know, I don't need a featherweight, but everybody's into these featherweights all the time, and it looked like it was in really good shape, and it works and everything. But no, I didn't buy it because it'll just collect dust. I mean, I like modern machines, so you know. But I know everybody talks about they're great for piecing, and you can take them to a retreat or to a class because you're just doing straight piecing and whatnot. And well, yeah, but I didn't buy one. So what are you doing?
I'm just adjusting myself.
Trying to get comfy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want this chair?
No.
Okay, fine. I offer things for him all the time, but he won't take any help. But anyways, that's what I did. And I am working on another quilt, which is giving me some problems. This one. This is as far as I've got so far. The fabrics I'm using were kind of labeled as the strip pieces as Christmas, but really, they're not.
Kind of pushing it for Christmas.
Yeah, that's what after I got them out. But anyways, doesn't matter for that. But boy, I have had some problems with this. Not because the pattern's a cozy quilt pattern, and I love cozy quilt patterns. They're always easy to follow, and this one is. It's me. I'm geometrically challenged. It is a repeated pattern, but if you look at it closely, you'll see that the top left panel, it goes up and it goes down. And then the one next to it is the same one turned upside down. Different fabrics in it, you know, because you just pick random ones from the jelly roll. And then the last one goes up. And then the next row is just the same thing again, and you turn it upside down. It's a mirror image. You know how much of this I've had to rip out? I don't know what I've got them going the wrong way. I don't realize it. I think they're the right way. But what's happening is when I look at the pattern and the diagram and the pattern, I'm focusing on a secondary pattern, not on the main one. And I can't help it. Something in my brain just goes mental on it. So I have 2 more rows to get together. I have some more ripping out to do because I've got strips on the wrong sides or whatever, and I need to take those off and whatever. So I will get it together, but mental. I mean, but it's not the pattern's fault. It's me. It's just me with it. But anyways, that's what I've been up to. And let's get out of this. Go back here. There we are. And get this off the screen. And we're back.
That's
here.
why I heard the big F word.
Yes, I was cursing and swearing, going, "No, that can't be right. That's you stupid shithead. Why are you doing that?" Yeah, I was yelling at myself. Thanks, Janet. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Wendy. Is your fabrics batik? Do you mean in the quilt that I just showed
Or
you?
no, or stuff that you bought.
Or the stuff I bought? Stuff I bought are
Or batiks.
batiks. All of them except for the two green ones. The ones that look like they had leaves on them. Those aren't batiks, I don't think. Yeah, they are pretty colors. I love batiks, so that's why I bought them.
This is a bit pricey for an FW. What's that?
A bit pricey for an FW.
Featherweight.
Featherweight. Is it? I have no idea.
How much were they?
500.
Oh, okay.
It came with it. It had a carry case, the original carrying case for it, that clamps down.
Yeah, I don't know how much they are, so
I have no idea. If that's a lot. Well, Lydia, you have a featherweight, so you would know.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just catching up here on what people are saying. Yeah, it is an optical illusion, Amy, and that's the problem with putting it together because you get lost in it. Right there, I am not. That's usually where my design wall is. That's just my bookcase, but I have a whole bunch of hooks, command hooks along the top edge of it, and I have little ringed clips that have like a little clip on the end of them, and I just sometimes when I'm working on a quilt and I want to keep the pieces up off my table or I want to look at it, I just put those on it and hang it. Other times I'll use the design wall.
Lydia, that you said 350, but I'm assuming you're in United States.
No, Lydia's Canadian.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, Lydia's Canadian. Yeah, so I don't know. I've never looked into it, Lydia. I have no idea what they go for. Thanks, Dana. The condition it's in is a factor, though, for sure. Well, it looked in really great shape. It obviously had been cleaned up and it's been tuned up and everything. I didn't see it running, but I know if Shirley was putting it up for sale, it would run. She doesn't sell anything that's not working properly. But yeah, I don't need one. Nita says, "Are you doing many in-person retreats?" Nope. We went to that one back in March or April with Ultimate Sewing, and after that one, we said we're probably never doing another retreat in person.
Too much trouble to lug everything with you.
It's too much trouble to lug everything with you, and we're men. And I'm sorry, and this is going to sound like an insult, but I can't take the women. I just couldn't take that group of women I wanted to kill. I'd never been to a retreat before where there were so many, how do you put it? They just nattered at us. They treated us like we were their husbands and they could give us orders. And I don't take orders very well. And
That's for sure.
Yeah, listen who's talking. And
well, yeah, there were some people there that were a little on the annoying side.
Yeah. So yeah, and we said, okay, we've done this now. Because I really didn't enjoy myself while we were there at all.
Plus the place they picked to go to isn't particularly great for having an enjoyable time.
No, it's a Christian Bible camp place, and I'm sorry. And I know it's a Christian Bible camp, and that's fine, but I really get tired of being preached at before I eat. Praying for the food and everything like that. And
not only that, the food isn't that great there.
No, the food wasn't that good. And yeah, no.
I mean, it's probably a little less than cafeteria food.
Yeah, and we paid a fair amount.
Yeah.
Accommodation is no frills, no thrills. It's okay. But yeah, and no, this time, I don't know. Maybe it was my mood.
I think I maybe also after having to go through COVID and stuff.
Yeah, different. It was just, yeah. And I don't.
An only man retreat. Yeah, that would be an idea.
Yeah, I would consider that. And there's a group that we belong to, the Canadian Male Quilters. And I guess way back before COVID or something, they'd had a few men-only retreats. But the guy who's organizing it now is really busy with a whole lot of other things, and I don't think he's showing any interest in it. Also, that group, they don't seem to have a lot of interest in anything anymore.
The vast majority of women that were at the retreat were okay. But then there were a few that weren't that great, and they kind of ruin it for everybody else.
There was these two old, and there's only one way to put it, and I'm sorry, there was these two old bitches. And they were there, they were friends of the organizer from Ultimate Sewing, and they sat at our table for meals, and all one of them did was complain. And it was her rules at the table, and she made one of the ladies cry. And
Yeah,
that
like there's
really
a
upset me.
lady that she has a few mental issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so she was sitting at the table, and you just have to.
You just take it as it comes out of her mouth. She's one of those kind of people who knows a lot about a lot of things. She absorbs like a sponge information. So you start a conversation up, and she's got some little tidbit of trivia to go with it. And they were talking about mushrooms from China. And so this lady, she started to talk about what she had read about the mushrooms and what they grow them in. And this other old biddy turned around and said,
Kind of laid into her,
says, this is not appropriate table talk. And so just stop it. And this other lady who's doing the talking about these mushrooms and what they grow them in and everything like that, she doesn't take a hint. She's kind of in her own world a little bit. She's a very nice lady.
like she means really well.
Yeah.
But...
And, most people have been around her before and know that. And so they just sort of, tolerate her and kind of a thing with it. She wasn't saying anything horrible. We all know that mushrooms grow in shit. Okay? That's what they grow in.
Manure.
Yeah, manure. It's an old joke, right? But this lady jumped right down her throat. And this other lady, she takes things so personally because she blames herself then. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. She says, and I'm down. I didn't mean to upset anybody. And she started to cry. And it was a horrible situation. And I almost let into the old biddy. But I held back.
And then anyway, this lady that cried, she kind of disappeared for a while. And didn't show up again until the next day. So
yeah, she was really hurt. But because she took it upon herself that she really felt that she had done something absolutely horrible. She did not. But this busybody old biddy, she was in your face about everything. It had to be her rules or, anything else. And I was taking all my time. And I'm really proud of myself that I did. But I'd had it with her. I was ready to go out and just, okay, let's go out and break a leg on you, lady. And leave you in the ditch. Because... and I'm sorry to say that, but that's how I felt. And then there were a few other ones who had to change the rules on everything. Like we were the entertainment kind of a thing. So, I told them several times, my sandbox, my rules, kind of a thing. But no, they had to get in there with their suggestions. Well, if you know how to do it better, why didn't you do it? Those kind of people, the kind who always have a lot to say, a lot of criticism, but they don't want to do it. So that gets my goat too. So overall, did not really have a good time there this time. And I've always had a fairly good time when I've been before. So we just said, both of us, we looked at each other and went,
plus we got used to the Zoom ones.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that we don't have to cart our machines anywhere. We have everything at our fingertips.
Yeah.
You can come and go as you please.
Yeah. Her name should be Karen. I can't remember what her name was. As far as I'm concerned, it's old bitty bitch. But no. Let's see, just looking around here. Biddies, that's what we called them in my house, excuse me. Yeah, everybody knows what mushrooms are grown in, yeah. Anita says, even a good friend of mine booked a river type cruise in late 2020. It had been canceled until end of July. They were supposed to get 8 countries, but now down to 3. She couldn't get her money back. Yeah, well, that's why we suffered the loss of $10,000 on that one that we had to cancel because
I know, because the only other offer we had was that they could give us half the back, which we did, and they might give us a credit till the end of 2022. But being in 2022, we're not we never would want it to go. So, and the other thing was They originally offered us just the half back and nothing, and we had to cancel
Yeah.
altogether. So and we had to lose the other money. They said so we ended up losing
Yeah,
it.
we
So
lost $500,000.
because I didn't want to. I mean, the other option was to take a full credit, and they would keep the full credit till the end of 2022, and then at the end of 2022, we could opt to get our money back if we hadn't booked a cruise. But at that point in time, I kept thinking to myself, well, what happened? There was an unknown factor in that. We didn't know what would happen with the virus and everything else. And we didn't know if this company would stay in business till the end of 2022. And what would happen is we left it in there as a credit for 2022, and then they turn around and say, well, we're not giving you your money back.
Yeah.
We're giving you another credit for another 2 years.
Yeah. Or they put up their prices too. So the credit that you got, you're still going to have to pay even more money for the river cruise.
Yeah.
There were too many factors. We bit the bullet. We lost 10,000. That's the past.
We're not doing that.
I'm not crying over it. It's done. It's finished. That's it. But we're never doing a river cruise. And also, we've had friends that have been on river cruises. And yeah, they sound really great unless the water's too high
or too
low. Then you get out and you get on a bus and it becomes a bus trip. And you
spend all this money and you're to be on a river cruise and you end up in a bus trip.
Yeah, and you're not getting the same kind of accommodation, and you're not getting the same quality of food with it. That or all the other stuff.
Well, not only that, I also have heard of I can't remember who it was where I heard it, that somebody had booked a river cruise, and then about 3 stops in this past year, they tested positive for COVID. So they just basically stuck them out onto dry land in the middle of their cruise and said, okay, you're on your own now.
Yeah. And people are traveling right now too, but COVID's not over. It's not over. So, you're still taking
if
chances.
you're on a group cruise like that and you walk in and you're sick, they're going to just do whatever they want to you. Like I know that on the big cruise ships, they often have a quarantine floor where they'll stick you on. But I don't know if that's still true nowadays, but it was at the beginning of when they opened up.
Well, they're sticking you on an inside cabin. They're taking you out of the cabin if it's a cruise. If you have a cabin with a balcony and the whole bit, and then what the ones that we watch on YouTube are saying is you're not even being allowed to stay in that room. They're taking you and isolating you on an inside cabin. Well, right then and there, I would be going stark raving mad because I'm a claustrophobic. Don't put me in a closet. I was in the closet for too many years. I'm not in the closet anymore. No.
So there's too many variables with traveling. Yeah. Not only that, our airports in Canada are, especially in Toronto, are supposedly
just nuts.
A zoo. So
they're absolutely horrendous right now. What are people saying here? Thanks, my quilt projects. They hold your money hostage. Yeah, they do. They do.
And apparently they're allowed to do that.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Patsy. I don't think COVID will ever be over.
No.
And of course now we have monkeypox. Yeah, isn't that nice? And apparently yesterday we heard on the news that the World Health Organization is calling it a global... they're not telling it a pandemic or an endemic, but they're calling it a global something.
Yeah.
And the other thing that is very...
A global concern, I think.
Yeah, another thing that's very, very scary for us, and more of this is happening in the States right now from the podcasts that I'm listening to and everything, is that there are some extreme rightists, again, the Christian right, who are saying that this is a gay disease. And it's just bringing flashbacks to the 1980s and the whole AIDS thing again. And it's the Christian right that are doing this. They're out for blood. And no, it's not a gay disease. Yes, the first cases that were reported were amongst some gay men. But AIDS was not a gay disease. And monkeypox is not. I call it monkeypox. Monkeypox is not either. And now they don't. And again, here we have The medical community, they know nothing. The medical community declared many years ago that smallpox was no longer anything that we had to worry about in the world. There would only be some cases of smallpox, but in little backwoods tribal communities, because everybody's been vaccinated and we've wiped out smallpox. And that's what they said. They sold the world, or at least the media reported that. And that we're going back 40 years ago. Well, smallpox is gone. Well, monkeypox is supposedly comes from smallpox or something like that.
It's related.
It's related. Then they told us right at the very beginning, well, if you're of a certain age group, like our age group, we all had the vaccination for smallpox when we were kids, right? For that. We talked about that one day on a live here and everything. Now they're saying, well, they don't know because, that you had those shots 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and it's probably not effective anymore. And we really don't know if it's effective at all, that. Now, apparently they do have a vaccine for it, but what are you trying to do?
Well, I was just scratching my head and then that
And
wasn't
then
working.
well, don't do that. What have I told you? Don't do that. Let me strap your arm to your side. So now they're saying that they have a vaccine or something, but once again, they're only giving it to the ones that are most vulnerable, and the ones that have, immune systems that are compromised or something like that. So here we go again. Can you say echoes of COVID? And we know how that worked out, don't we? So how's this going to work out? The only thing about this one, apparently, well, they're not even sure how it's transmitted completely, although they think it's transmitted. I mean, it's sexually transmitted, or also...
no, they're saying close contact. So
Yeah,
if anybody has sex, they obviously have
well,
close
that would be
contact, right?
close, unless you're doing it from another room. I don't know how that works out. But, yeah. So there we go. We've got that on top of everything else. And have you seen the commercials on, they show up on YouTube, about mental health with children? That we're so worried about these kids, and I hate this commercial on there. They've got some little kid with a voiceover going, well, I haven't been feeling really happy lately. Go outside, find a rock, make a new friend. Like, whatever. I mean, I'm sorry, but children are resilient. And why are children not happy? Because they've got parents who entertain them all the time. When we were kids, we got kicked outside and told, go out and play with something. If it's dead, leave it alone. If it moves a little, well, we'll think about it getting you a pet. But, like, I'm sorry. I'm a hard-hearted person, I guess, because I have no sympathy with this business. Everybody's been affected by COVID. Yeah, none of us are really happy right now. Look at the look on Walter's face. Is that a happy face? Yeah, no. Whatever. But, and then we have, and this is why I used the clickbait today. Is it the end of days? Well, let's put this right on a downer, shall we? I'm not a believer in prophecies from the Bible, okay? As you well know. Sorry if I'm stepping on somebody's toes, but I'm being honest about it. However, one can't help but think that maybe Revelations isn't all that crazy. Because do we have pestilence? Yes, we do. We do have pestilence. COVID, monkeypox, all the other things, right out there. Okay. Do we have fires? Yes, we do. Climate change, or whatever you want to call it. California's burning up again. Australia's burning up again. Europe's burning up again. So, yeah.
I thought Australia was flooding.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that's the other one. Floods. Okay. So, yeah. And the only thing that we don't have right yet, but maybe they do somewhere in the world, is I would say lock yourself in your house if you see a flock or a host of locusts, whatever they call it.
Well, they do have some of those problems.
Yeah, well, that's, more. So all that stuff, biblical, isn't it? Yeah. And then let's talk about the Antichrist. Or should we put his real name on it? Putin. Yeah. Okay. And, they did say, or some people have translated Revelations to say that the Antichrist will emerge from the world of finance. in politics. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? So I don't know. And then, of course, it doesn't help that we're all going through this sweltering heat. Well, we're not so bad where we are. I mean, yeah, it's been warm. It's 27 right now. Actually, it's been going up this afternoon. It says the high is going to be 28. Because I noticed when I looked at my watch an hour ago, it said it was 25. So, yeah, but, parts of the States, Europe, everybody, they're getting incredible. Someone on here, I just noticed when we first came on, said that they're having like 100-degree Fahrenheit weather and everything. It makes you wonder. I said to Walter, we need a vacation. We need to do something soon because I think we're going stir crazy. I'm starting to get a little stir crazy. I don't even want to watch the news at night because the media is not helping anything here, is it? I mean, I love it how I think they should just put a devil's tail and a pitchfork in the hands of all the weather forecasters because they actually look like they're happy about it. It's going to be terribly hot. You're going to burn. You're going to drown. Flooding. We can hardly wait. It's disaster of the century. They're probably opening bottles of champagne with every day's. Look at that. We're hitting new record highs in temperature. Crack open the booze. Let's enjoy this. Yeah. I think you have to be a weatherman and report this stuff. I think you have to be a bit sadistic.
Well, it's not news always does sensationalize things.
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, and everything on the news is bad news. We have had so many. If someone isn't being shot in Toronto, it's a day without sunshine. That's what it's like. Every day you turn on the news, and someone was shot here in Toronto, and somebody over here was shot in Toronto, and then somebody got stabbed and was sent to the hospital here. It's like, wow, whatever happened to the whole thing where they used to call Toronto the good? I don't think it's so good anymore. Well, I never really did, but, in comparison to other places in the world, it wasn't too bad. But no, it's here in Canada as well. And of course, the whole issue with the guns coming across the border and they're getting them in, but no one seems to do anything about that. So I don't know. You could really go into a deep-seated depression, I think, if, without too much trouble. So maybe these kids aren't feeling that happy. Maybe it's just not the kids. Maybe it's all of us, I guess. But whatever. So what are people saying up? Let's just see. I got to back it up here. See what people are saying. Let's go up. Come on. Mouse reply thing. Hi, Andy. I didn't see you before. Pamela says, thank goodness we have our quilting and other hobbies to keep us entertained. True. And Kathy says she heard that smallpox was found again, not sure where. Well, I do know it has not been completely eradicated from the earth. There are small isolated communities in like tribal settings and things like that still had smallpox. I knew that. And Cheryl says there have been cases of polio recently. Yeah, there you go. We all got the vaccine for that too. But, for a lot of us, that was like 60 years ago when we had it. So does this stuff last forever or what? Monkeypox is probably, Laura says, a different strain too. So we may not have the immunity for it. Yeah, exactly. That's what you're saying.
Though I think that I'm not 100% sure, but I think the monkeypox vaccine that they're using right now is actually a version of the smallpox vaccine.
Oh yeah. So I don't know. And there's a polio. Kathy, my quilt project says there's a polio case in New York State. Yeah, it's like all the old diseases, the old time diseases are coming back again. What was old is new again. What's this one? Fidel says, what about Marburg virus? What's that?
It's a type of Ebola.
Oh my God. I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah, there's Ebola still.
Well, I know there's still Ebola,
Yeah,
but
and then
hi,
yeah, it says
Judy.
some children have monkeypox now.
Yeah,
So how can it be sexually transmitted? It's not. It's close contact.
it's close. Yeah,
Yeah, and it can actually be you can get it off of I'm not 100% sure if you can get it off of surfaces or not, but just um if you're close contact with another person for an extended period of time,
yeah,
then that's so obviously some but two people that are having sex together and one has it, obviously
well, yeah,
is a good chance it gets transmitted because it's close contact, right? Children have close contact with their siblings and their
and
parents
their parents and other
and
kids
other
and
kids.
things.
So
So yeah, they're not being very clear as to exactly how it's being transmitted.
like when I was a little kid, my mother noticed I had a red rash on me, but she figured, well, I had a tendency to get hives on a regular basis. So she just thought I had a case of hives, sent me out to play with other little kids, and found out I had red measles later on.
Yeah, but I had measles when I was a little kid. In that, I had all the childhood diseases that one gets. But like Anita says, for years there's been those that won't vaccinate their kids. Doctors have seen things coming for years. Yeah, that's true. They this whole thing about, oh my God, a kid gets a vaccine, they become autistic. I have news for you. Your kid was probably already autistic. You know, I don't believe that it was a vaccine that did it, but I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. No, but so yeah, I know the number of kids we had to send out of school, high school kids who had not, their shots weren't up to date and hadn't been vaccinated. And we're talking, 14, 15, 16, 17-year olds and that. And they'd get a letter. They went home with the letter, and the letter said basically, until you can prove that you've had your kid vaccinated, they're not coming back to school. And there'd be parents that were fighting that because, religion, for one thing, cultural, religious reasons for it, or, their personal beliefs, because in Canada, we have all, we have no restrictions on our freedoms at all. No, 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 we can't have that here. Yeah, we do have some restrictions, and it's for our own good, those ones, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, Gail says Walter is adorable. See, I told you, you have groupies. Walter has groupies. Yeah. Love it when he smiles. Walter,
I never smile.
Walter only smiles when he's got evil thoughts. Yeah. Then you want to run far away. um if Gail says, if it's the end of time, I'm going out sewing something. Yeah. Michael says, I need to go and study up on Nostradamus prophecies. Oh God, no, those are scary. But what people can read into Nostradamus' stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out.
I mean, he wrote them all in like free verse poetry kind of a
Quatrains
thing, and
or
quatrains and all this kind of stuff. So yeah. And you can make anything work with that. I just flopped up. I started watching the news. Steven is scary making those faces and voices.
You know, the weatherman.
Yeah, well, you.
And we're paying the weatherman weather person to lie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, and yes, I think you really have to work at staying positive these days. I can see how young people can feel. They only see and hear negative, bad things. True. Yeah, I agree, Judy. We need a road trip too. And my quilt projects, I've had the measles. Yeah, I did too as a kid. And Denise says, I've been watching Mayberry Andy Griffith lately. It makes me laugh. Yeah, simple times, What the biggest thing that happened that was a disaster was Aunt Bee's cherry pie boiled over. Oh my God, Andy, my cherry pie's ruined. It's boiling over. It's boiled over. My cherries are everywhere. Shut up, Aunt Bee, you bitch. Yeah. Andy Griffith. Well, whatever. He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah.
So's Aunt B.
Yep.
Opie's not.
No.
No, Ron Howard. Yeah, no. And that Gomer Pyle, he's gone. Don Knox is gone too, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they're all dead. Oh, that's good. Um, yeah, the simpler times. Oh God, do we sound like a bunch of old people? I remember a time when we should get a couple of corncob pipes and sit out on the front porch in the rocking chairs. I remember a time when, yeah, whatever. So what else is up? Oh, okay. Now, before anybody thinks I'm being cruel about this, I am not. I was given permission to say this. We had the International Stitch Marathon on Friday. Key word here is Friday, because there is one person on here who sent me an email yesterday going, I'm sitting here on the link and there's nobody else here for this. Can you send me the link? Like they got the wrong one. And I wrote back, yeah, that was yesterday. And easy enough to get confused about it, I can tell you.
Yeah, I know, because they had it on a Friday, and
Yeah.
maybe everybody was thinking that
It was
on
supposed to be a Saturday, which would have been more logical, kind of a thing to do. But anyways, they had about, I think at the height, there was maybe about 36 people at it. I really don't know why we needed 10 hosts, because we really didn't do anything. And not all the hosts were there. Some were, some weren't, some came, some went, and that kind of thing. Although it was pleasant. I got a lot done while it was going on. I didn't stay for the entire 12 hours because it started at 11 a.m. Eastern time, so I wasn't staying until 11 o'clock at night for that because I'd probably start sewing my fingers together at that point. But it was okay. Yeah. Well, what can I say? It was fine. It was okay. So if you weren't there, well, you weren't there about it. So, you know, it was a chance to get caught up on your projects. I guess that's what I should say. Okay, so,
Barb wondered why there was no So Chatty.
oh, I was coming to that. Yeah, okay, well, him.
No,
And
no,
it wasn't.
also was.
It was because of the International Stitch Marathon, because I was a co-host. And because it started at 11, we usually do So Chatty on Friday afternoons around 2 in the afternoon and then put it up after we've done it. And I was double booked. I actually, believe it or not, I was doing the Stitch Marathon on one Zoom, and I have a Zoom account. And I went onto my iPad and did the Quilter's Way because we had our every other week meeting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on that. So I was on both at the same time. I had to mute one of them so I could hear the other one so I wouldn't get feedback in the microphones. So after all of that, there wasn't a convenient time to when we could have done So Chatty. The other thing too is we didn't have a heck of a lot to So Chatty about either. So I figured, okay, let's just give it a rest. I had thought of doing it on Saturday instead, but he wasn't really feeling up to that. And I figured, yeah, we'll just leave it. We'll do a fantastic one this coming week on this Friday coming up, kind of a thing. So that's why we didn't do a So Chatty. Kerosene pickles.
I think for Aunt B.
Oh, okay. Oh, Aunt B's Ladies Church group got crocked. Oh, yeah, that's right. Kerosene pickles. Yeah, yeah. Gail was the only participant on Saturday. Yep, it was a retreat of your own. Yeah. Oh, Wendy says I couldn't get on. Nobody would let me in. Well, okay, Wendy. I couldn't do anything about that either, and I didn't see you on there because I was supposed to be a co-host. I did not have, Brendan never set us up with co-host privileges. She had to do it all, and she was buried in what she was working on, and so I had no way of seeing if there was anybody really waiting to get in there so I could even tell her. So I'm sorry about that, Wendy. That's what I mean. If you're going to host these kind of things, you got to make sure you're paying attention. You really don't. When you're hosting something like that, you really don't get all the time that other people get to work on your own projects, because you've got to, you're an organizer. You've got to be there to troubleshoot the technology and let people in. Um, uh,
Dana couldn't get proper Wi-Fi at Greenwater Provincial Park.
oh, you were roughing it, were you, Dana? um, and Anita says, Steven, have you seen any good movies lately?
R.
Oh yeah. If you want to see a really great but long movie, but it actually doesn't feel like it's over 3 hours long. It's called RRR. It is an Indian movie, as an East Indian movie, and which really I shouldn't have to say East Indian, because we don't call Indians Indians, and we call them indigenous people. So it's that. A lot of action. Kind of gory. Well, not gory, but a lot of violence. And they even do Bollywood dance numbers in it too. It was great. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Um, and I didn't think it would, but it's got good ratings. It had like an 8.1, didn't it?
Yeah.
On it. So if you want a good, entertaining 3 hours that seem only like two when you watch it, try it. It's called RRR. The letters RRR. So yeah, that's about the best one we've seen so far. I'm watching right now. It's been on. It's got several seasons. It's called What We Do in the Shadows. It's about vampires, but it's a comedy kind of thing. And the first two episodes, you kind of watch it and go, yeah, I think this might be stupid. And actually, it is kind of stupid, but it's an amusing stupid. And I've just finished the first season. I've been blitzing it, and I kind of like it. You in great pain?
No, I'm a little uncomfortable now.
Well, do you want this chair?
No, I'm okay.
No, okay, fine. Whatever. Can't say didn't ask. But anyways, yeah, that's about all. I'm trying to think if we've seen anything else. We haven't actually been physically into a movie theater. I'm not comfortable with that right now. Plus, it's cheaper to see them on. Everything comes out on Netflix or Prime or
And if not,
Apple.
we can always rent it for $6.99.
Well, yeah, and we have done that occasionally too. What was the last one we rented? We rented something not too long ago. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was Doctor Strange and the.
No, we didn't rent that one. That was on Disney Plus.
Oh, well, we rented something.
Yeah, we did.
I can't remember what it was. Yeah, that was memorable. Whatever. But yeah, that's about all that we've seen. So, speaking of other things that are coming up, Craft and Chat advance notice. Next weekend is the long weekend here in Canada, and in most provinces. It's the civic holiday weekend, they call it. So it's a long weekend this coming weekend. And then bang, we're into August, and bang, it's Craft and Chat. So I just realized this morning that it's coming up real quick. It's August the 3rd. Next Craft and Chat starts at 1 p.m. I will be putting in all my videos this week, the link. Are you going to be all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, you're making these faces, and your eyes are going back of your head, like that. God, you make people really comfortable while you're doing that.
Go ahead.
You need to hot and cold compress, whatever, on that. How about some knockout drugs? Got any Tylenol 3s?
I do, yeah, I do.
Oh, well, pop one of those. That'll get you. You'll be happy then. So yeah, Craft and Chat, August the 3rd. The notice will be in all of the show notes. In fact, you'll find it in the show notes for this today. There, the link. I created the link already, and I'll put them in next week. And those of you on the mailing list, you will get the link also in your in email towards the end of this week. So that's coming up. Now, I have some good news about my fall retreat. I have now had confirmation from my 3 guest speakers. One of them is on here as well. And that would be Sow the Distance, Chris. And I also have Adam Sows. Oh, there's Adam. There he is. He's popped in right now. Timely. Very good, Adam. Adam is has agreed to, and Lynn Reinhardt, who, if any of you were on the Stitch Marathon on Friday, she was there as well. And I have done interviews with all three of those people as well, and they each have a very unique presentation that they will be giving. No pressure on them right now because we're a little bit early. So I can give you the date. The date is going to be October the 22nd. Now there will be more details coming out when we get closer to that date. So this is really advanced notice. But I'm really pleased that I have my 3 guest speakers. They're all going to be great with that. No pressure, guys, on that. So yeah. So as I said, more details to come. And I'm going to be interviewed on Saturday. First time. I'm being interviewed by the guy who sews, Sean. And you may have remembered I interviewed Sean back a couple of months ago on mine. Well, he asked if he could do an interview with me. So I'm looking forward to that. That's on Saturday when he'll be doing that. And I don't know when he'll put that out. I don't think it's a live interview because I think he does his interviews using Zoom. So it can't be live, but he's kind of got me scheduled for 7:45 in the morning on Saturday. So, and I know he usually does a live thing on Saturday mornings in around that time too, but can't really do Zoom live. So I don't know what he's got planned, but anyways, so yeah, that's coming out. So that'll be interesting. I'll be on the other side of the microphone for an interview. So
Adam says he's slightly terrified.
Oh, Adam, don't be. You don't need to be terrified. Nobody does. It's very informal. It's like this. Okay? So don't worry. Your audience are there to have a good time. Everybody usually has a good time at my retreats. And yeah, there's nothing to be terrified about. It's going to be the same as you're used to doing your YouTube. So it's going to be kind of like that. You don't need to really feel that you need a formal presentation with PowerPoints and stuff like that. No, it can just be chatty. That's all, that's all it is. And that goes for, I know Chris was a little concerned too about that. No pressure, no pressure, and do whatever you want to do. Okay. Everybody will enjoy it. Doesn't matter what.
Amy seems to think his Saturday mornings are live through Zoom. He does early mornings on Saturday for his Australian friends.
Oh, okay. So I wonder how he connects up, how he does well, actually, I guess I know how he could do it. I could do it too. I just thought about it. I mean, in what we're doing right now in the live, instead of doing this through OBS, if I just had my Zoom connection. No, but I don't know how that ties into YouTube thing. Something to look into, I guess. Adam says I can do chatty. I just need to not witter.
Or wither?
Worry? Wither? I don't know what witter is. Is that a British thing? I don't know. Amy says, I think I said that right. He's on your YouTube live, but uses Zoom. I'm not up on that technology, so not sure how to explain it. Yeah, don't know how that works either. I should investigate that. Maybe there must be a way.
I think Adam already has an interview on there.
Who does?
You already did an interview with Adam, didn't you?
Yeah. I already did it. Why? Who asked?
Laura says, "Don't be nervous. Steven does not awesome interviews. Looking forward to seeing your interview, Adam."
Oh yeah. Well, Laura, it's not an interview. I have an interview already with Adam. It's up. What we're talking about is my fall retreat in October, and Adam's going to be live on that, and he's going to be one of my 3 presenters. Because on my retreats, I don't know if you've ever been on one, Laura. I like to have some guest speakers to talk about things that they're interested in. and it just kind of breaks up what we're doing in the day, and plus it's always very informative. I've always found because you always learn something from other people as well. Winter
Talking
on,
nonsense.
we're on talking nonsense. Oh, okay.
I wouldn't worry about it.
I wouldn't worry about it. No, there's nothing to worry. He might use that. He might use StreamYards. I don't know. That's okay, Laura. No problem. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he uses, so I may have to ask
I
him.
mean, you can talk nonsense. Doesn't really matter.
No. No. If it's anything like craft and chat, that's usually what we do. That kind of thing. So that's coming up. Let's see. Well, monkeypox, gay disease, end of days. Yeah, I've talked about all that. So, what are we gonna do for a holiday? I mean, we're talking about September.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
I think we need to do at least a day trip.
Yeah.
Maybe a day overnight trip or something.
Yeah.
We need a change of scenery.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, once you get better.
Maybe we get a couple of days overnight.
Yeah. Well, get on that. Start planning. You're my travel agent,
okay.
so that'll get your mind off of your pain a little bit. Wouldn't hurt. Because every time I come upstairs, you're sitting in your office staring into space, going, oh,
That's only if I'm trying to put my pants back on.
Okay, we're not getting into that. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so what else was going on this week besides your pain? You did clean out. You got a lot of crap out of these troughs, didn't you?
Well, just out of the back part of these troughs, I still needed to do the side ones.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be
But
going
I'm not
up there
doing that right.
I don't think that's a good idea. Maybe we should seriously look into those services that can come and do it. Because our roofs are very, very high here.
Well, here the
and steep.
Well, the other part of the problem is we have a slope down the side. I have a special ladder that you can adjust the bottom legs so that they go even on a slope. So that's not bad, but I have to go up 2 stories to get to the spot where I need to clean out.
Yeah, well, I don't know. And you don't like heights, so
no, I know, but I don't mind when that ladder is. I've got that stabilizer on the top.
Yeah,
and I don't mind it when that stabilizer is on because ladder doesn't move.
Well, anyways, I don't want to have to be picking you up off the backyard either. You know, you'll crush a chipmunk or something out there. Barb says, have you ever traveled to the East Coast, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland? Many years ago.
Yeah, we were talking about going to Newfoundland, but right now the logistics of getting across to Newfoundland and still having our own car is difficult. Right now, rentals on the island are impossible to get. So you kind of need your own car. And the ferries, the big ferry that runs to from the mainland to Newfoundland, that goes to the populated areas of Newfoundland, is an overnight ferry, and it only runs till mid-September.
Well, that's because his high heels will get stuck in the snow.
Then there's another ferry that travels all year, but goes, it's not an overnight, it's a day ferry, but it goes to a remote area of Newfoundland. You'd have to drive 800 kilometers to get to the more populated areas of Newfoundland. So I don't know about it being logistical to go this year there. So
no, we'll hold off maybe for another year. Who knows what next?
I noticed that my nephew was in PEI.
Oh, was he?
The last couple of weeks, yeah.
Oh, didn't know that. Okay. Well, your nephew goes everywhere.
We might go back to PEI sometime.
No, I think PEI would be nice to go back to in the whole bit. But whatever. Of course, next year, though, the Canadian National Quilt Show is in Halifax, too, in June.
Oh, yeah.
Next year. So
might have to plan that.
Yeah, well, I was thinking that might be a good excuse to go to the East Coast, go for that, and then, you know, go around and everything. Because last time we were in the East Coast was in the 80s.
84.
I hear it's gotten bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not. But anyways, but we need some kind of a just an overnight trip or something, or even 2 nights or something, just to get away sometime maybe next month or whatever. Of course,
Yeah.
we're still waiting to hear, well, we may be waiting for a while about
But,
when they're going to do our windows and
Yeah,
doors.
I know, but we'll know a couple of
Well,
days
yeah.
in advance.
Well, I hope so. But yeah, so I just want to go somewhere. So besides to Ultimate Sewing or to Kawartha Quilting, that kind of thing. Just go somewhere, see something. I mean, we haven't been downtown Toronto in ages, but
Mhm.
it doesn't have the
No, it
appeal it
doesn't
had
have the
when we were
appeal it
younger.
used to be. We're not really into bars as much anymore. And I don't know, Toronto doesn't really throw me to death.
No. Okay, learning to quilt. Glad you were able to catch us today. Have a good week. Amy says, I'm looking forward to going to the beach in the fall for 2 weeks. We rent an oceanfront house with family, mom, dad, sister, niece, nephew, and his wife. A much needed vacation. That sounds kind of nice. And Judy says, we did all the falls in Gray. Bruce Walters Falls was great. You have a fall?
I guess so.
I guess. Or did you have a fall? Yeah. We're driving from Mississippi to Pennsylvania in September. Yeah, we talked about going in September down east, but I don't think that's going to happen. Because right now they're saying already that cases, you just don't want to get sick.
Yeah, well, if we stay away from...
Well, yeah, we'll stay away from people. We'll do the hermit trip. Yeah.
We'll go up to, what do you call it? That place in Manitoba that has all the polar bears.
You mean Winnipeg?
No.
But I don't know. Why do
Lots of mosquitoes and polar bears.
I don't want to see polar
People
bears.
seem to go there.
They're polar bears. They're white.
They're way up north. You got to take a little plane to get there and stuff like that.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, I don't know.
What, to go up and poke the bear?
Yeah,
you should never poke the bear. You should never poke the bear. Besides, that's prime season for them, you know. You've seen the Far Side comic where the polar bear is...
We could go to Yellowknife.
Well, we've never been there, but I don't...
Churchill, yeah. Barbles, and yeah, Churchill, Manitoba.
Oh, sure. Why not? Yeah. Laura says, Churchill, Manitoba. Yeah. Why?
It's there.
It's there.
You know, there's some people that don't live in our country that think that's an exotic trip.
Well, it is kind of even for us, but like I said, why? I mean, nature. I look out our back door, I see trees. You know,
and hear the wolves cry.
And hear the wolves in our backyard. Yeah, the coyotes and the skunks and the raccoons and the chipmunks and the squirrels and the blue jays, the cardinals and the, you know, all the other things. The only thing we don't have is bears that we know of. If we do have bears, you know, because you hear them. Hi! It's an inside joke. Never mind. With that. So I don't know where we can go for a day trip or an overnight.
Overnight or something. There's always Quebec City or something. Or
yeah, there's Quebec City.
We go over into the eastern provinces.
Yeah, well, we talked about that, going into eastern townships and the whole bit. Because we've only ever been there once and we weren't there long.
No, I know.
That was the trip from hell.
We decided to go on a trip out to Quebec one year in 2006, actually, with another couple of guys that we knew that lived in our subdivision, and that became the trip to hell.
That was a trip to hell. Yep, do that one again. So we didn't really see too much of the eastern townships because, yeah, that wasn't so good.
And needless to say, we have not talked to them since.
No.
In
Jackie
Ottawa,
says, get a map and a dart. Yeah.
We're 4 hours from Ottawa.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to Ottawa. Last time we went to Ottawa, we were a little disappointed. And go to Walters Falls. Actually, that might be an idea for a day trip.
Where's Walters Falls?
It's up in the Grey Bruce area.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not that far.
I'll have to look it up. And go to Kincardine for the...
Ooh, Kincardine. I hear that's lovely. That's where sisters marry brothers. Yeah. Yeah, well.
That might be an idea. I don't think I've ever been up that way.
No, never been up that way. Yeah, well, you can look that up and see.
Yeah.
Look that up in your Funkin' Wagon. Yeah, and see what that's all about. That might be okay too. Yeah, though there's lots of things in around our own, not that far from us. Walter, how's your tooth? I missed if you said previously.
Well, it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, tooth got pulled, root got pulled separately. It was done real quick, and I didn't have any complications with it.
No, except for the initial one when you tried to pull it and
Take a cruise to Thunder Bay.
A cruise to Thunder Bay. We've been to Thunder Bay once.
Yeah.
Like in the very early 80s. And we just kept on going to Winnipeg.
No, we stayed the night.
Yeah, I know.
We stayed the night in some little religious
Oh,
place.
yeah, the place with the Sacred Heart on the wall over the beds and the whole bit. Yeah, that was... And that's where we went to our first time we'd ever seen a Kelsey's.
Yeah.
That was in Thunder Bay. That was civilization at that point in time. So, take a cruise to Thunder Bay.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that.
That one might be interesting. Yeah, now I don't know if you were on here earlier, Adam. Now he's having he's pulled something in his back, his arm,
pulled
or whatever.
my back out. Threw my back out. No, pulled my
No, you pulled
my muscles in my
You have muscles?
in my right shoulder.
You have muscles?
So if you see me flinch when I try to do this, then that's because it hurts.
Well, I told you don't do that. But anyways, well, I guess we'll figure out where we'll go. Maybe we can go at some point where we can do a live on location. Yeah, well, the internet might be a problem for that, but whatever. Well, anyways, so that now we're just rambling. So time to go. So I hope everybody. Oh yeah, Niagara Falls.
No, we've
been
done
there
that to
1,000
death.
times before. Yeah, that's we only live
2
2
hours
hours
away
from it. We've been there, done that many times actually.
Stayed in places with fall view rooms.
Yeah, and everything like that. Yeah, so yeah, it's not the big a thrill anymore. But whatever. I suppose in a pinch, there's always Niagara Falls, as they say. So
it was more fun last time we went to Niagara Falls. They didn't allow the Americans up. So
oh, that's right. You can do things.
You could actually do. It wasn't busy there.
No, not at all. Yeah, that's true. So, well, yeah, but the last time we were there, we didn't even stay in Niagara Falls. We stayed in Port Colborne.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Well, there was a thrill. Believe me, not. But whatever. It was. We had the same thing. We were feeling cooped up, so we decided to take a chance. That was last summer. Some point we did that. Yeah, it was an overnight trip, kind of a thing. But anyways, so gotta go, and hope everybody has a great week. Thanks for joining us today, and yeah.
Thanks, Anita.
Yeah.
I hope I feel better too.
Yeah. Prescott, awesome quilt shop, Water Girl quilt shop. Oh. Okay, Prescott. I don't know if I've ever been to Prescott. We've been to
I'll have to
Prescott?
look where that is.
Yeah, well, Prescott's east.
Is that near Ottawa?
Yeah,
I think it
I
is.
think it's on the way to Ottawa. But anyways, okay. So we gotta go. So everybody have a great week. Thanks for joining us today,
Yeah.
and we'll see you later on. So bye for now.
Yeah. Bye.